Well, just what were your impressions of getting a look in a scrimmage last night?
Yeah, I thought it was outstanding. Anytime that you can replicate, live game experiences, that's a big deal. Haven't done it in a long time. Thought it was well received, but not only our players but also the fans. And those new players, those 14 new players in our group, haven't played in the Ralph. I know some transfers might have played, in this building before, but being on the home bench or being part of the North Dakota team, I think it's great to get in a situation where there's not 12,000 people in the stands, and it's not counting in the pairwise standings where, you can try to replicate some game structure. Worked a lot on even strength, worked a lot on power play, penalty kills, 6 and 5 up and down. So getting some touches, getting some reps on it, I thought it was very beneficial.
What have you guys learned about Jackson Kuntz after
Oh,
last night?
yeah. Came in today. Obviously, got diagnosed yesterday, x-rayed everything. It seemed like it checked out, but then came in today and it feels better today. Range of motion, a lot better today. So we'll kind of go day by day here, and I don't think it's as severe as what we hoped to think it was going to be. So.
But no decision on Saturday yet.
Probably we'll know more tomorrow. What we did a maintenance day today. We did a morning skate yesterday. We had a lot of ice time for some guys last night, so we gave our guys kind of a maintenance day cardio. They did some cardio on off ice with Mark Pullman. We didn't go on the ice. Some guys will individually go on the ice today, but once we get to practice tomorrow, we'll probably find out more from him.
How about Emerson? Is him missing the week or?
No, he came in today. He skated on his own today, so he is on. He's feeling better. Obviously, he had an illness there, and we'll see. It'll be kind of a decision as we go through the week as well to see if he's able. He's missed a few days of practice, but we'll see where he's at tomorrow.
How many guys do you want to dress on Saturday? Have you decided that yet, or?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's really important to get the guys, the new faces in our lineup for sure. I like to dress everybody. I think we're going to kind of see how it is with those two guys you mentioned, and then it might just fall into place from there. But obviously, we'll have some decisions to make. One year we did put 5 lines on the bench and 8 defense. It's pretty crowded. You don't get a lot of, I guess, reps in that. But at the end of the day, everybody got in the game. So, we're going to make that decision here probably over the course of the next day or so once we see guys that are available to play and how we want to go manage that.
How about have you made any decisions on how you want to use the goalies on Saturday?
Yeah, I think we want to get them all in. At the end of the day, Ludwig will start, and then we'll put Hobie in, and then we hope to get Caleb in as well. So, that's the plan as of now. But try to get some reps in there for Hobie or for Ludwig and Hobie, and hopefully with Caleb as well.
Jake Schmaltz, it looks like he's playing wing. Is that something that might stick, or how did you guys decide to move?
Yeah, so we put Owen McLaughlin and Jackson Panzer or Jackson Blake together, and they seem to have some pretty good chemistry from last year. We want to try to find a fit where we could get a guy that can complement those guys on that line. We bounce some guys in and out. We tried it about a week and a half ago on putting Jake there, Schmaltz, and he did a really good job. He's open to playing on the wing, but he can take face-offs as well. I think he's done a really good job there. So I think we're going to kind of go through that for a little bit longer to see how that fits. And the good thing is we've got some really good depth too. When you look at you got James and Johannes and Jamernick and, Kuntz and, even you keep going with Strinden and Ness and Montgomery and a lot of good players. But at the end of the day, just trying to make a fit for those two guys on that line.
Livanovich running the second power play, that's why freshman, that's a big assignment for a freshman. Why does he fit in that spot?
Well, he's played a lot of junior hockey. He was in that role playing in Chicago, and he flourished at it when he was there. And, having a guy that, has confidence with the puck on his tape and in those situations is a big deal. We're sorting through some things. I think Garrett Pike has done a really good job with that one unit. we had Chris Jandrick last year that did an amazing job at the middle top. I think, obviously Garrett Pike, I firmly can believe, do that as well. And then we'll go through some different options as well with Jake Livanovich as being maybe a potential guy that can do that. But he, he's calm with the puck. He's got great feet mobility. He sees the ice extremely well. He's got all the dimensions or all the attributes of being a good middle top power play guy.
So help that he's played with Perron and they're they're on that unit again together.
Yeah, it's something to be said about that, right? At the end of the day, having some chemistry with a guy that you played a couple years with is a big deal. And I just think he's been through. USHL is a tough league. It's a really good league, and if you can get through that league and play in those situations, that only helps you when you get to college.
What are you hoping to see Saturday night from your team?
Yeah, excitement, exuberance, execution, high compete. What I was really intrigued with was the video. I watched video last night. I watched it this morning. And for being this early in the season, having a resemblance of structure, how we want to play. And I know, obviously, you can practice all you want, but once you get in the game on 5-on-5 situations, it's nice to know that guys know where they have to be on breakouts, D-zone coverage. It gets tougher as you play teams going forward here, but at the end of the day, it was a good start for us, and we want to make sure we have that against Manitoba here.
I know you did it a few years ago with the amount of new guys, but is there extra significance maybe for an exhibition game just to make sure that all of those new guys are gelling?
100%, yeah, for sure. I think, especially the freshmen that come in here, like last night was last night, and we had a really good crowd for a green-white game. But, when you get into a Saturday night coming up and the stands are probably hopefully filled to capacity here, and you got freshmen that have played here for the first time in front of our fans, there's some nerves, some maybe a little bit of anxiety and nervousness. And to get that out of the way right away against in an exhibition game is a big deal before you get into your non-conference schedule.
I know you touched on it last night, but just the importance and what you're maybe telling the guys just because you do have 7 straight at home to start the season.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, we want to move forward from last year. We know the strengths that we had. We know the weaknesses that we had, and we have to accentuate the strengths and make sure that we strengthen our weaknesses as far as what we have to do. It's very process oriented. We want to win championships. We want to win different things, going forward. We have a lot of goals, but those goals are goals that are set because you do the things on a daily basis. You do the habits and details each and every day, and it sounds so cliche as far as what a coach says all the time, but it's so true on the day-to-day stuff. And if we firmly take care of that, we'll have success. And that's about caring about each other too. Guys that, when we're in the trenches together, guys working for each other, guys are playing for each other. And I see that early on here. So we just got to keep continuing to build that on a daily basis.
Yeah, what do you have to say about the leadership? It seems like this group has almost kind of elevated even what your goals maybe were for this early.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. When you look at our leadership group, and we got, 5 great leaders that are wearing letters. We've got other guys that are really experienced that could wear letters. That's experience that you can't replicate or you can't, teach right away. But the good thing is when you got guys like Jackson Blake and Owen McLaughlin and Dylan James that have already been here a year, you can see kind of some leadership come out of those guys right now on the day-to-day things that they're doing. And that's really encouraging because when these leaders that are graduate or sign pro contracts leave, you have a good base of leadership that's coming from those guys that are sophomores and juniors.
We've talked about the new faces, but the guys have been at work at it for a couple of months now. How close do you think you guys are to figuring out the identity of this year's team?
Well, we talk about it on a daily basis. We try to practice or emulate that on a daily basis on our identity. And when you talk about it, you got to go back in years, and obviously there's tweaks and changes you make to structure and how you play in different things. But the common denominator of it all is the passion, the compete level, the intensity, the team first mentality that we have, the humility that we have in our group. That's been here for years, and that's a common thread that we want to keep building and growing on, while making some tweaks and changes to a little bit as you have to. But at the end of the day, our identity is a hard team to play against and a team that plays fast and competes ultra hard.
How important are events like the scrimmage yesterday and the exhibition game coming up? How important are those towards solidifying those aspects of your guys' identity?
Yeah, for sure. Today, like I said, we gave our guys a maintenance day. Tomorrow, we're going to get their attention by, doing a video session before we go on the ice and go over kind of, the things that we did well and the things that we needed to work on going forward. I think in this day and age, communication is so huge. And I think the biggest way that you can communicate with your players is through the visual aspects of it, through, a video session on your structure of play. And again, I think it's a situation where we'll keep building and growing on it because obviously, it's early in the season and we need to get out of the blocks quick, but we have to make sure that we do it step at a time here.
With these kind of events, what do you think is the more important aspect, the X's and O's of the in-game situations, or like you mentioned earlier, playing in front of a crowd a little bit?
Yeah, I think a combination of both. You want to have some structure to your game, but at the end of the day, playing in front of a crowd, don't want to paralyze yourself as far as overthinking the game. Hockey is a game that, you have to react to different situations. You can script anything you want, X's and O's, but you got to have hockey sense and you got to react to every play. And I think having guys play freely, knowing that, hey, if you make a mistake, you know what? You better get on the back check. You better be working your tail off to get in a position where you're going to get that puck back. So again, structure is a big thing, but also having guys that can play with some anticipation and some play-making situations.
What do you think is the biggest difference with this group from where they started a few months ago to where they're at right now?
I can feel we're a lot tighter than we were before, and I think the summer months when we trained together helped that. To get some things out of the way, some guys that are becoming familiar with each other, and now guys feel comfortable around each other as far as on and off the ice. So yeah, it's a situation where we're going to continue to keep building and growing it, and again, we just talked about the leadership side. That's a big part of it too.